Welcome back. All right, another News of the Day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Monday, March the 3rd. Starting at the top of the board with your 3 stars of the week. Andrei Vasilevsky of Tampa Bay, first star. 3 wins, a .973 save percentage, and a shutout. Your second star is Rope Hintz of the Dallas Stars. 3 games played, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. And Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens, the third star. In 3 games, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points for Nick Suzuki, and a very strong week for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, getting on to other news, Riley Smith, he's being held out again by the New York Rangers. This is for trade purposes. They're hosting the Islanders tonight, so Smith won't be out there for that one. It'll be interesting to see when he does get dealt. It could be as soon as tonight, of course. That's one thing with holding him out of the lineup. You could just, at any point, make that deal. The Columbus Blue Jackets, who were not expected to be buyers or even a team that's just holding at the deadline. And here we are. We're at the trade deadline on Friday, and Columbus is working on extending a couple of players. First off, it looks like they're signing Olivier to a long-term extension. That may get reported as to what the cap hit is either later today or tomorrow. So it'll probably be in a News of the Day video tomorrow. They're still working to extend Provorov as well. So Columbus is, really serious about making a run at this. Not looking at renting players out, looking to keep guys together. I think they've built something. It is amazing how well Columbus has played and what their records look like since Patrick Laine said what he said about the team. It's interesting to me that he said, they accept losing. It's not a big deal to them. And man, ever since then, it's like they just put that on a bulletin board and went with it. Dewar has been waived by the San Jose Sharks. So we'll see if Calgary puts in a claim on him to get him back. It's too bad. Walker Dewar had a decent start with San Jose, but yeah, he faded. And there's a lot of depth players in that organization, so understandable that Dewar would be on waivers. The other thing to keep in mind is if he clears waivers, a team could acquire him via trade after the waiver wire clearance has been revealed tomorrow, and then that team wouldn't have to waive him. They could just put him in the AHL. So that might be what's happening here as well. We shall see. Spencer Knight is seemingly excited about going to Chicago. That's got to be tough, though. Like, he admits that it was a bit of a surprise, a bit of a shock. But looking at what they're building in Chicago, if you have Spencer Knight and, say, Soderblom as the goaltenders next year, that's not bad. Soderblom's had a good year. Mrazek has been far shakier, and Spencer Knight gets to start tonight at home against the LA Kings. So now, that being the final game of the night, a little bit more interest for me in how that game's going to turn out with Spencer Knight in net. So we shall see. But Knight's a good goaltender. He's young. And for Chicago, I think they did a good job trading out Jones's contract, even though I think Seth Jones is going to do well in Florida. Tough news when it comes to Gabe Landeskog. It feels like at this point the Avalanche are saying, look, he's probably not coming back this year, and I've seen people saying, no, he's not coming back. Even when I've been reporting on, him coming back and skating, the fact that he has been skating, he has been trying to, ramp things up a little bit, good news, but it does not look like he'll return in this year's playoffs. At least that's the way things are leaning right now, but I am sure if there's a way for Landeskog to come back, he'll find it. He still has, I think, 4 years left in his contract. So retirement's not really an option unless he wants to forfeit 4 years worth of money, which most players won't do. Most players will just stay on LTIR. That's why it's there. And all the best to Landeskog. Hopefully he finds a way to make a return to the league. Yarncroke, his season is likely to start tonight. It's likely that he debuts. I looked for some lineup news that he was definitely in. I haven't seen that, but it looks like he's going to play tonight at home against San Jose. It does mean that Toronto's right up against the cap, but when is Toronto not right up against the cap? It seems to be their default setting, and I'm sure they'll be right up against the cap even as it's going up over the next few years. Grubauer, so the reason for the Seattle jersey, Grubauer's been called up, and he seems to be upbeat after the recall. I'm always interested to see how goaltenders take that when they go down to the AHL and then they come back up, and it sounds like he's saying all the right things. It'll be interesting to see when he gets into action for Seattle. But yeah, Grubauer being back up, really, in all honesty, for Seattle, their season, it's not going to lead to playoffs. I think I can just straight out say that. And so Grubauer coming up, playing the rest of the season with the big club, they get a chance to see, whether or not that's going to work, whether or not they want to bring him back next year and start making decisions about what their goaltending is going to look like for next year. Seattle does have some holes in that roster, and it does feel like they need a goaltender at this point in time. Utah, just as I'm putting this board together, announced a signing. Oli Maatta has signed a 3-year extension with Utah. I think he's played his best hockey in Utah of his entire career. So they signed him to a 3-year extension, $3.5 million cap hit. So every time I see people talking about, this guy doesn't deserve more than $5 million or $5.5 million, it's like, guys don't even understand. All of the salaries are going up next year around the National Hockey League, and they're likely to go up by a lot. So at the very least, top 4 defensemen, top 6 forwards, and of course your starting goaltenders. Bottom 6 forwards and the bottom 2 defensemen, you're still going to see a lot of guys at league minimum. But yeah, Maatta's not at league minimum, $3.5 million cap hit. This year he's at $3 million, so he gets a little bit of a raise. And all the best to Maatta and Utah from here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.